to put ourselves behind. And those are the things that we're addressing today. But with that, I'll take any questions.
Great. First question will go to Tony.
All righty. All right. Kevin, this isn't the first time you've been asked about Judy not getting the ball enough, and you've always responded, yes, we have to get him the ball. My question is that inability to get the receiver a ball more a function of game planning, play calling, or quarterback decision making?
Well, I think it's a combination of all of those things, Tony. When you're talking about any type of target, it's our job as coaches to put together a game plan where, your best players are obviously the primary, but then you have to go with what the defense does. That's the other piece of it, I think, Tony, that you have to, when you're coaching the quarterbacks, make sure they understand that the ball goes where the ball goes, dictated by coverage. Obviously, there's things that we do and we'll always continue to do to try to get our guys open. And certainly, it's no secret that Jerry is a huge, huge part of our offense. So it goes without saying that we want him to touch the ball more.
Okay, and just to ask you again about DTR, if he is healthy this week, he will start against Miami?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just wondering if for some reason Dorian isn't healthy, who are you kind of getting ready to start against the Dolphins? Would that be Bailey, or would you go back to Jameis?
I think it's probably premature to we will work through that, Mary Kay. I say that just because I got to see how Jameis comes through with his shoulder injury as well. So we have to see how all of that shakes out this week.
Okay, thank you.
Next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, on that DTR calf, I mean, yesterday after the game, you thought you expected him to be okay by Sunday. He said he was going to do everything. Has anything changed, or are you still optimistic he'll be the guy Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, he played through it the whole time, so give the kid credit for that because that happened on the first couple plays. But like anything, like any injury, you just have to be careful and make sure that you treat it. But yeah, of course, hopeful, yes.
Okay, and then with him, what can he do better inside the pocket to avoid some of those sacks and some of those pressures that he faced yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always a combination of things, Scott. We have to, number one, you need to put yourself in a position where you don't have to drop back as often as we have. That's one piece of it. But also, it always is a combination of quarterbacks moving within the pocket, having the correct depth in the pocket, the line setting, the depth of the pocket, and the width. So everybody has to work together in that regard.
Thanks.
So go to Daryl.
Yeah, Kevin, DTR didn't have any passing yards, or net passing yards, I should say, there in that first half, but he seemed to kind of get on a little bit of a roll there in the third quarter. Just what did you see from him coming out of the locker room, and how can he build on that from a developmental standpoint in these next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think we played better as a football team in the second half there. Darryl obviously made some plays there with Dorian with his feet. First and foremost, I thought he did a nice job of gaining some first downs with his feet, and then did a nice job spreading the ball around to our guys when those opportunities presented themselves.
And we've talked so much about the turnovers these last 2 years. You even mentioned, the 37 you had a year ago. You're up to 30 this year. How do you, as you wind this season down, I guess, evaluate how you guys as coaches can, I guess, work on that more in practice, or change how you work on it, or whatnot, so you can slow those down come 2025?
Yeah, I think, and I understand the question. I think big picture, I'll save the reflections, if you will. As you can imagine, you're constantly coaching ball security when it comes to the offense, and that can be as simple as technique from center quarterback exchange to the quarterback handing the ball to the running back to quarterback's decision making. Really, it factors into so many of those things because we know how important that is when you're talking about winning and losing. So, but in terms of the big picture, Darryl, I'd say I'd save some of those thoughts for until after the season.
So go to Ashley.
Hey, Kevin, just a few quick ones then. So do you think David's going to try to play against Miami, or are you ruling him out?
No, not ruling him out. I don't have all the information yet, just yet. Ashley, I'll update you guys when appropriate. As you can imagine, if he can play, he'll play.
And then what about Said again and ruling him out? And do you guys expect him to practice this week, or how's he coming through the protocol?
Yeah, still making his way through the protocol, and we'll be obviously patient with this and make sure he's you know accomplishing all the appropriate steps. But we'll see how it goes.
Thanks.
So go to Cam.
Hey, Kevin, I know that Dustin Hopkins has a process and he kind of sticks to it, stays confident in that. Is there at any point, though, where you see some of those struggles and you want to maybe insert a different process, kind of have him switch it up, have him try something new, or do you kind of let that process play out despite that?
Well, I think to your question, Cam, I think we have to work through it. I think it's something that he's continuing to work through. Obviously, wants to get his technique back down to where he feels really good about it, and we'll just work through it. Is really the bottom line.
Thank you.
We'll go back to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just wondering, I'm not sure if you said this already or not, but is Dave having an MRI today?
Yes, but I don't have all the information yet on the injury.
Okay. And then the other question is, in the event that Bailey has to start, or if not, maybe serve as the backup again, what have you seen in him in his short time here to show you that he could go in there and function well?
Yeah, we have confidence in all of our guys. Mary Kay, I think Bailey has done a nice job since he's gotten here picking up the system. I think he probably had the system down after about a day. Very intelligent. And then there's some similarities to what he was doing when he was in New England this summer. So really understands what we have to do. He's done a nice job in practice. So, but we'll see where this week takes us.
Thank you.
We'll go back to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, I know we see Miles do a bunch of, freak stuff, but did you get a good view of him chasing down Burrow toward your guys' sideline yesterday? And did that it looked different to me, the speed he was using in that effort to get to him?
Yeah, obviously I had a good view of that when it happened live, and then had a good view of it just watching the tape. And listen, that's a unbelievable effort play to run him down, to contact him inbounds, versus a player that we know is very, very elusive. So that's when we're at our best. That's our defense flying around the field.
And then the Mahmoud, when he got the neutral zone when they were at the one, looked like he objected. Did he go offside? And if so, how frustrating? Because obviously that's what they were trying to do, is get him to jump offside.
Listen, Mahmoud is a young player. He's a very, very smart player. That was not his best play. That's not indicative of the type of player he is, and he will learn from that. And honestly, our entire team will learn from that.
Thanks.
We'll go to Tom.
Thanks, Jordan. Hey, Kevin. And I apologize if you were asked about this yesterday. On Friday, Miles talked about not wanting to go through a rebuild again here. And, I know you don't want to share any conversations you've had with him personally, but can you appreciate, his frustration? And I know you would probably always encourage your players to speak their minds when they have the opportunity.
Yeah, like you said, Tom, any conversations I'd keep with our guys, and I have a lot of conversations with our guys. So they know that they can share their opinions with me, and it'll always be that way. Obviously, Miles, all of our guys are extremely competitive, and they want to obviously win these games. We want to win this one versus Miami. That's our focus.
Thanks.
We'll go back to Tony.
All right, Kevin, that was Ken Dorsey's first game calling plays for Dorian. What is the natural growth process between play caller and a brand new quarterback? Should we expect that to be good right off the bat?
I think it always is dependent on so many things, Tony. I think we can play better as a team. We can play better as an offense starting this week. There's things that I know we can improve upon. Obviously, when you have a young quarterback out there for the first time this season as a starter, you're learning about him with every rep. You're learning about him with every rep at practice as well. So we'll take all those learnings and apply them as we move forward.
And my other question about DTR is, all of us on the outside of the building have our own opinion on DTR. Do you personally know what his ceiling is in the NFL?
I think with any young player, I would tell you, Tony, that's always a something that you're looking towards achieving with your guys. Young players need reps to get better. I see a young player in his second year that's getting better with reps.
All right, thank you.
Last one from Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, given Dorian's calf injury and James's shoulder injury, would you maybe try to have him run a little bit less, both on, RPOs and different things like that, and just scrambling around and putting himself kind of in harm's way, the way he sometimes does?
I would say it's early, Mary Kay, just to see how he progresses through this week and with this injury. Like I said, he played the entire game with this injury, so we'll just see how he progresses.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, guys, we'll let you know when we have Jerome Ford or Jordan Hicks on the way. All right, everybody, we have Jerome here. If you want to raise your hand with questions, we'll get to you. Give everybody a second. All right, first question will go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Jerome, just wondering how how you feel about the fact that you have been able to come up with so many explosive plays over the past few weeks and really help the team at a time when things really aren't going well in very many other places.
I feel like it's just a testament to our offensive line and the wide receivers blocking on the edge. Without them, I wouldn't make any explosive plays. So, I feel like all of us coming together and being able to hit on the same page consistently back-to-back weeks, I think we're starting to feel good about it.
Okay, thanks.
We'll go to Daryl.
Yeah, Jerome, you credit your teammates for helping you get those explosives, but just for you, we've seen this from you in the past in spurts, but to be doing it on a more consistent basis, how good do you feel out there?
Feel good. Like I said, I'm sorry, there are big holes being created, and you know when you're able to have that much space as a runner and get running, it's a great thing.
And just wanted to ask you about DTR yesterday. Real tough first half there. Not a whole lot went right, but then in the second half, he seemed to find a little bit of a rhythm, and the offense started to get it going a little bit. Just someone was in the huddle. What did you see from DTR, and how much do you think he can kind of build on some of the positives in that second half?
You see the resilience in them to fight. Like you said, we didn't have the best first half, but coming out there knowing we got 30 minutes of football to play, I feel like we all went out there and gave it everything we had.
So there's Scott.
Hey, Jerome, why isn't it important for you to, whether you're considered the number one or the number two? I know you've talked about it a lot and said that it doesn't matter, but why doesn't it matter?
Why doesn't being number one
Matter
or two?
like if people think you're the number one back, you know what I mean?
I don't think it matters at all. Only thing that matters is what's going on inside the building here, and who coach put out on the field, and making sure that we've honed in and studied the game plan, and we go out there and we do our job.
I mean, a lot of guys would care about that, right? That they were considered the number one, but it doesn't seem to be that important to you. Why? Why don't you think it's that important?
The most important thing at the end of a game is a W, and no matter who's the number one, number two, as long as you did your job to contribute to that W, I don't think one or two matters.
And then that catch yesterday where DTR scrambled left and threw it back to you, Kevin raved about it. What did you see on that play?
We go over scramble drill after practice all the time, and just making sure that I'm in position. And I seen him look my way, and I know the type of guy DTR is. He'll get it to you. He'll make a play. So I just made sure I was ready to catch the ball.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Okay, do you have another question?
No, sorry.
Okay, no worries. All right, last call for questions for Jerome. All right, looks like Daryl.
Yeah, Jerome, obviously this season hasn't gone the way you guys had hoped. You've got 2 games remaining against Miami and Baltimore. Just, what's the mindset and approach as you guys, try and end what was a difficult year on a positive note?
Continue to fight. We know those are 2 teams that are still in hunt for the playoffs, and we're going to go out there and we're going to try to win games. And, well, we know Miami in the hunt for the playoffs, so, we're going out there, try to win games, play hard, and send them home like we going home.
And just, how have you seen Kevin kind of handle this, when he came here, things really seem to change around for the franchise, albeit maybe not smoothly with all the, quarterback injuries and stuff over the years. But just how have you seen Kevin handle the challenges and the difficulties you guys have gone through?
He handles everything like a pro. He makes sure we get our work in. He keeps us motivated, keeps us going, keeps us fighting, and I think he's done a great job from my point of view.
Go back to Scott.
Hey, Jerome, Kevin said that David Njoku had a knee injury yesterday. He was getting an MRI today. How have you seen him kind of fight through the string of injuries he's had this year? What kind of loss if he's not able to play with you guys the last couple games?
He's a real fighter. He's trying to do everything he can to get on the field. I can see him in the training room. It's frustrating for him to not be on the field and, be out there and make the plays. But, when he's out there, like that screen you saw yesterday, he's able to make plays and be a big help for our team.
Thanks.
Okay, last call for questions. All right, thanks, Jerome. Appreciate it. Well, you guys know when Jordan Hicks is on the way. All right, everyone, Jordan Hicks is on the way if you guys want to get questions ready. right, everyone, we have Jordan here. I know first question, we'll be going to Mary Kay.
Oh, hi, Jordan. I was just wondering, forgive me if you were asked this last night. I'm not really sure if you were or not, but I'm just wondering, how did you feel about some of the remarks that Miles said on Friday, if you were aware of them, when he basically said that he's going to need to see some kind of a plan for winning now for him to want to be back here. And he cited that he seemed to be alluding to the fact that, you know, you guys as a defense or defenders or team leaders are kind of in this thing together in your feeling that you would like to see, you know, just what the plan is going forward. Just wondering your thoughts on that.
Yeah, obviously, Miles, you know, speaks from the heart. You know, I think he does a great job, but I can't tell you what's going on in Miles's head, right? All I know is what I'm, you know, what's in my head, you know, and that's really all I can comment on. Miles has been a leader on this team for years. Is held in the highest regard amongst his peers, not just on this team, but around the league. And coming here, it's been a pleasure to get to know him and watch him firsthand. You know, he's the type of team, or he's the type of player that you want on a team. He's the type of leader you want on a team. You know, and, you know, like I said, Miles, he's going to tell you, he's going to shoot you straight, and he's going to speak from the heart.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So what, Ashley?
Yeah, Jordan, just to follow up on that, what about the fact that he notches his 100th career sack yesterday, and just what it's like as his teammate to see a guy reach that accomplishment and reach it as quickly as he has in his career?
Yeah, and what's so special about it is you watch just about every play, he's getting double teamed, right? The guy's relentless. You know, there's play after play where he's you know, not just defeating the chip, but defeating the tackle, and then getting the back on a late chip. Like he's bringing all attention. So, you know, to see him firsthand, like I said, has been a pleasure. And you know, I've played a lot of football. I've seen a lot of things. You know, what he's been able to accomplish and what he does on a weekly basis is special.
I mean, along those lines, have you ever seen an edge rusher get or played with a guy who gets that much attention the way that Miles seems to draw attention? Because even looking at other top edge rushers now, it seems like sometimes he's dealing with things that aren't really
Right.
comparable.
Yeah, no, and it's, you know, it's one of those things is we are what we are, right? Schwartz's defense is what it is. You know, we're gonna apply pressure, but if our pass rush is working, right, we're gonna drop back and we're gonna make you you know, have to figure it out. And Miles is number 95. Everybody knows it. He's gonna be on the field in those big third downs, and you know, if we move him around, they're gonna move around to you know, make sure that he's not being disruptive. And you know, as a linebacker, you know, the attention that he brings to a game plan helps my position, helps me play better, helps everybody on the team play better. So yeah, you know, I've never personally seen it. You know, I'm not complaining about it. He's still getting his sacks. He's still doing his thing. And you know, it's helping everybody else on the defense. It's special to play with somebody like that for sure.
We go to Scott.
Can I ask you one more Miles thing, Jordan?
Sure.
What did on that play where he chased down Joe yesterday on the sideline? I'm just curious what your view was live, and then when you watch it on film. It just seemed kind of special to me watching it.
Yeah, live I didn't see it. I heard the crowd, right? I think that everybody wanted a you know, late hit or 2 feet out, personal foul, whatever. But watching it on film, obviously you see him giving relentless effort, jumping, you know, to make the tackle and then rolling, spinning into the heaters and the heaters falling over. And, you know, it just is a testament of who he is as a player and who he is as a person.
Yeah, and then you've known Rodney for a while, right? And now he's got 2 games left. I was
Yeah.
talking to him about that last week. Just how much does that come up, and how do you kind of reflect on what he's done in his 13 years?
Yeah, man. It does. It comes up quite a bit. I have a lot of, you know, conversations with Rod and private conversations. And, you know, we're both older guys in the league. And I try to pick his brain. I try to hear, you know, his story and where he's at mentally. And he's, you know, he is enjoying every moment, trying to just do everything he can to leave it all out there on the field. Right. And, you know, I think about it in my own situation and in our situation as a team. It's easy to feel sorry for yourself in these moments. It's easy to look around and, you know, try to take the easy route. And then you look at a guy like Rod, who knows he only has 2 games left, who is, you know, fighting tooth and nail to leave it all out there on the field, to be in the right spot, to know the opportunities that are coming, you know, are dwindling, right? If he doesn't make a play, he may not get that opportunity again to make it the next time, right? So just the ability to look at somebody like that, you know, who's one of your leaders on the team, and see his mentality going through this situation, you know, has been encouraging to me, and I think for a lot of guys on the team.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Tony.
Okay, Jordan, we're 3-12. Let's step outside of that box for one moment. You're in the middle of a defense that has defended Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. I want you to rank those quarterbacks 1, 2, 3.
Why would I do that?
Because I asked you to.
What kind of question is that?
You've
Come
already
on,
played
man.
them. You've already played them. You're not going to play them again this year.
I've played them many times over the years. They're all great quarterbacks, and you know, they all have superpowers in their own ways, right? Like, they're all different. I don't. You can't necessarily rate them 1, 2, 3. I think they all. If you want a runner, you go Lamar, right? If you want somebody who can create, you go Pat. You know, if you want somebody who kind of can escape and you know, plays with a little bit of savvy, right? A little bit in the pocket, a little bit of savvy, you go Joe. Like, they're all great. They're all quarterbacks, and, you know, in their own respects, and I got a lot of respect for all 3.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
Mary Kay, do you have another question?
No, I don't. Sorry.
All right, last call for questions for Jordan. All right,
That's a
wrap.
good